Welcome to the Divine Brand Collective. The Divine Brand Collective is a community of heart-centered humans that are committed to elevating the vibration of the planet, starting with self-transformation, growth, and community building. Our primary objective is to create live and virtual experiences that foster a deeper connection between ourselves and the divine while nurturing personal growth, learning, and positive impact. We strive to provide a sense of peace and grounding to our members, enabling them to continuously evolve and make a difference. The Divine Brand Collective was created to bridge the gap between the business world and the wellness world, and to incorporate people of both areas into one another, because we as humans need that emotional support, that healthy wellness aspect of life to balance our entrepreneurial spirit and our drive and things of that nature. And we also need community and people to turn to so that we can get to our goals faster because we have that support system. Our mission is to support members in finding deepened relationships to self by integrating their past and providing access to do inner work so that they can show up authentically and confidently. Our focus is to guide members to clarify these desires, goals, soul's purposes, and core values personally and within their business. I think everyone on this call knows that it really takes us diving deep into the brand's essence and who we are and working through anything that holds us back to really shine and be successful and achieve our goals. Our vision is it is our hope that each person that heals and grows will find a way of giving back in service of others. By healing ourselves, we can contribute to profound change in the world. We envision members sharing themselves confidently and authentically by providing them with community, tools for inner work, and resources to support them in their business goals. Who we serve is heart-centered business coaches, healers, wellness facilitators, people that are looking for a deeper connection with themselves, path, purpose, and community. So we also are going to serve, the corporate person that is looking to build community and find people that are soul-led, heart-centered, that they can connect with and have conversations with and build relationships and friendships. There's two sides of the Divine Brand Collective. And so one side is going to be, well, I'll share with this. So for the Jade membership, this is our online membership. And we're going to be featuring workshops every week featuring our members. And we're looking to connect with experts that want to share their expert advice with the community and share what it is to work with them. So what products, services that they can offer to the community as well. We don't want it just to be pure content. We want people to know, okay, like this is how you get into action to take it to the next step. So we are looking for experts to, join us to be leaders in the community. And then those that just want to absorb the information can just be our Jade membership level. Our Quartz membership is our leader. So then we have a Brand Boutique Elite Mastermind, and that is on Tuesdays. Mimi and Denise are a part of that. And that's for us to really share what we're up to. It is we share our wins, so it's an opportunity to like a humble brag, and then we make requests of the group. So if we're looking for a referral or advice on our sales page or our copy on our new product, or even just any little thing. And as you show up consistently, like in this mastermind, you build a deeper friendship. People are like referring, like all of us in the mastermind are always referring business to one another, working with one another, creating things and collaborations together. Because I think sometimes people think like, I'm going to show up to a networking event and I'm going to get all this business off of like one conversation. But as many of us know, it takes time to build a relationship and to build that trust. Like I can think somebody does something great, but if I don't really know, if I didn't purchase their product, didn't really experience that, I don't know if I would actually refer them. But if I have experienced them or they show up on the mastermind and somebody has a question that pertains to their expertise and they share something and that's suitable and helpful, then it's like, oh, okay, like I get to know this person, I get to know how they think, and then I want to work with them or refer business to them. We're also going to offer moon rituals. And so those will be probably in the evening, and those are light. And these are for leaders to be from the wellness brand. So, say, for example, somebody does Reiki and they want to do a journaling session for a moon ritual. Like they may not be a speaker per se, but they can still lead a event for us. So we're going to have access to digital workshops, and all of the courses that each of the quartz leaders create are going to be in an archive, and any member gets to view them. And we'll have links for the courses, for people to sign up to book calls with you too. We'll have an online community. So we're going to be using Mighty Networks for the online community. And as this grows, there is an option to turn it into an app. But we're starting off with just using their platform to house all of this and to have that communication. And then we're going to be doing day retreats. And so our next upcoming is Boston and Austin. And then we're going to be doing longer retreats in different places around the world. And so there, as a member, there's discounts for all of those things, but we're also looking for leaders to be a part of the day retreats and the longer retreats. So the day retreats we're going to be doing wellness focused day retreats, and that's just for anybody. So people that want to de-stress and things of that nature. And then I'm going to be creating business workshops too. So some of them are going to be lunch and learns. Some of them are going to be like full day learns. So basically this is a community. And so whoever comes and wants to create and share, I'm down to like create with them. So for the Quartz Leader membership, this is like what you get. So we're going to be doing ad campaigns and marketing for each workshop. We'll create all the social media posts. We're going to be sharing, like we're going to have each person that does a presentation will be on the podcast. And there's a couple of other members that are interested in sharing our leaders on their podcast too. So Quotable Media, they have a podcast, and there's a couple other people that I'm talking to that also wants to feature their leaders on their podcast too. We also are looking for people to be brand advocates and make commission on sharing things as well. For this project, we're going to have it completely free until the end of the year. And I'm looking for leaders to, create and build so that we can collectively, get more eyes on each one of us. We are creating the Boston Divine Day Retreat. And so this is going to be no business at all. It's just going to be pure relaxation, de-stressing. We're going to do meditation, sound bowl healing, breath work, alignment work, an empowerment speaker, some movement. And that's really just in some community building, sharing activities as well. And what I feel like is anytime that I've ever done any kind of deep inner work, or even like just a little bit of inner work and shared in that container, in that space, I've built like really deep friendships with people. And it's much different than like a business event where it's like, oh, you're cool, we chit chatted and like I like you, but we didn't share like something like that vulnerable and authentic. And so I want to use this Boston Day Retreat to have our leaders bring their community. So it's like, hey, like you're my friend, you're my client, and we have this beautiful event that I'm a part of that I want you to come to, so that you build those deeper relationships like with these people. Because anybody that I have like an actual friendship with that is my client, like they always like refer me business forever. And so that's like what I want to facilitate and create. It's that we are getting deeper with our community and also building relationships with people that isn't just business. It's like, okay, like now we're connected. I know more about you. I trust you more. And so with anybody that wants to, so we're looking for people that want to be a part of our virtual gift bag and also a tangible gift bag. And so we'll promote, them on the website and all of this stuff. And we're looking for people that want to actually, bring guests. And so we're doing a commission based thing for that as well. So for every guest that signs up, we'll create an affiliate code and you'll make $50 commission on each one of the guests as well. And so it's not like it's opportunity for you to like build community, but also make money too. And yeah, so that's what we have coming up. And Justine, what I was thinking of when I met you, it was like, oh, I'm like, you already have a course and people have so many hangups around, sales. And so I was like, literally, I think when I met you, we were having a conversation. Like, I don't know if it was Denise and Mimi and I in the mastermind, and we're like, oh, we need somebody that like just focuses on sales. And then I meet you, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts on like being a leader and sharing and, just overall about like this? And like, I would love like honest feedback because I want to like,
Yeah.
I'm like in flow of like changing things and like creating it and just getting feedback from everyone.
Yeah. I think to me, I'm a very simple person. I love the book Essentialism, and I like to keep things really like easy to digest and simple. And it feels like such a beautiful thing that you've created, but it feels very overwhelming to me as someone who likes to keep things simple. I'm like, there's so many moving parts, there's so many different aspects. So I'm having a little bit of trouble following everything that's being created. I'm also just new to everything that you've created. So it feels different when you're like, everyone here feels comfortable and like with you and the building of it versus like I'm just coming in and getting everything presented in like 4 minutes. So I'm like, okay, what is being created? Like, how is it all working together? It just, it's a little overwhelming.
Thank you for that feedback. I like felt like it was overwhelming when I like created the first presentation and then I took some things out and I'm like,
Yeah.
huh, is this less much? So no, that's very helpful because I was literally thinking that when I first created it and then I took things out, but I think I should take out more things. So essentially what the main thing is the mastermind and being a part of our community on Tuesdays and just showing up, having conversations, like sharing what you're up to. And the people in that container are potential clients, but also potential support and referral affiliate partners. So
Yeah.
that's like kind of the main thing. And
Okay.
then there are also workshops that we're hosting featuring different experts.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think presenting it that way would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Like, the core is the mastermind Tuesdays, this time, this is where we meet. And in my mind, a mastermind is a commitment. Like, everyone shows up every week. I've been in masterminds where there's rules. If you miss one meeting, you get a warning. You miss two, you're out. Like, because you're growing together on a trajectory, and it's unfair to the rest of the group to always be there and not have everybody kind of on the same page. So I think the level of commitment is really important. And part of that is like paying makes you pay attention. So it's also confusing. Like it's free through the end of the year, you're getting exposure, but then like, what does it become? And what's that true level of investment that people are making in being part of that group? Right. And it's not just about the money or just about the time or just about the energy. It's like the collective of all of those things, like really making it a core part is really important. And then those auxiliary things, how do those amplify the experience of the core? Right. It's, we want you going to one retreat. We want you going to one workshop. Like at what cadence is really going to create that community level that you're looking for. And I think all those moving parts are, there's a lot of benefit and there's a lot of things you could do. And I find I work with a lot of healers or my clients, like I work with a lot of Reiki practitioners and people who have trouble sort of advocating for themselves and asking for the help and raising their hand. And I think they're also used to over giving. And so one thing I try to teach them to do is scale back a little bit, because we're so used to over giving. And I was just recording a podcast episode before this morning about how when we over give, we kind of get into that cycle where we give a lot and then we end up retaining less, which tells us in our brain that we're not doing enough. So we give more, which then causes more people to kind of fall off because they get more overwhelmed, and it sort of creates that cycle of despair. So like just being really mindful of, the things you do, in my opinion, the things we do, this is some of the messaging I would probably use, are like intentional and they're limited because we want the experience of each one to have the highest level of impact. So we're not doing 97 things, we're doing 4 things, but we're doing them extremely well and intentionally and together, because that's what we believe is going to create and facilitate that like longer term investment and community that's being built.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking that I should just like have one slide, the masterminds, one slide, the workshops, instead of like listing it out like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justine, can you come over to my house right now? We got a lot to talk about, girl. I need
Yeah.
all of these things. I need to, it's such a good reminder. And thank you for giving feedback, because it's very difficult to get feedback from people. So it just shows your level of professionalism and obviously such capability in being able to identify what needs to happen and what needs to shift. And it's so funny that you mentioned that, and that Farhana and I were talking about it, that the mastermind truly is the gem where we can invite people in as a way not just to learn about the Divine Brand Collective, but also as a platform to help present your idea, right? Because a lot of times people they don't have enough practice, and actually not really the elevator pitch per se, but really don't have enough practice creating that vision, so you can find clarity. Because sometimes when we don't hear it out loud, it sounds really good in our head. And then we say it out loud and we're like, oh, wait a minute, that really didn't actually verbalize correctly, or people didn't get the message, right? Because they're not actually living up here, right. with us. So really, really, really thank you for that. I think that was very helpful, because again, we're in that state of flow, just developing things. So that was a really great perspective. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And always such a great lesson to really bring people in on that one thing that you do best, and I'll talk about it because Denise and Farhana know that I worked in restaurants for many years in New York, and, you always see these restaurants open with so many, the only restaurant that can have a menu like that is a diner, right? Because you see these restaurants that have like, you're on page 82 and it's like, hey, listen, like, what is the 3 things that you do the best? Because that's what people order. And that's what people want. And that's what people are going to tell their friends about. And then you can bring them in and show them what you experience. So, it's really such a great thing to highlight about that. And I think that was very helpful. So thank you so much.
I have a podcast called People Over Profit. And one of the episodes is 3 lessons you can learn from bartending. And it's a very similar story to that, which is, you create a signature cocktail. and it has so many ingredients, and you can buy them in bulk and you can repurpose them to other drinks, but like the core of your offer is this thing, and that's what creates higher profit margins and more clarity and uniqueness to draw people into you. And it's fascinating, like some of the simplest things are the easiest to overlook, because we tell ourselves that it needs to be more complicated to be valuable or to make sense or to stand out. And I think so many people are overcomplicating that. The easiest way to stand out is to do less better. And that's like my life mantra: do less better.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And just having a product-based business for a variety of years now, I just know that, adding new products and stuff, it's always great, right, to keep
Yeah.
things fresh. But how do we remind ourselves that your original product line, the ones that got the people really involved with you, just because you've heard it a million times, there's always somebody that never heard about it before. Right.
Correct.
And we do a lot. And so it's just like honing in on that message. And I think that somebody, and you guys know about sales and marketing a lot, so I don't need to tell you this, but in marketing, like when you start to like kind of want to throw up on the words that you're saying, because you just said them so many damn times, right? You kind of just like dip your toe into the actually marketing piece, because people need to hear it multiple times too, right? And they're not going to remember it on the same resonance that you do, right? It's not their first thought of the day, your product or your offering, right? It's yours, but it's not necessarily theirs, right? So just having that very clear message that can be easily repeatable and shareable and relatable, I think, is so important. So yeah,
Justine,
amazing.
the part about like the leader part and actually being one of the leaders and hosting a workshop, obviously I get that, like, it's too much, but like, is that something that you would be interested in? And like, also I would love like a critique in how it was presented and like what seemed like not what would want, or
I think, well, and it's also unique in my situation because my business is pretty well established, and I think I've got into routines, and like my level of commitment and things needs to be a little bit lower, especially as I'm branching out. I'm launching a magazine in October, and that's a lot of work. So like doing some of these initiatives that take more work for me, I'm really careful and mindful about preserving my energy and like putting my attention on things that I know I can commit to, because I'm a really high integrity person. That's one of my core values, is like show up where I said I was going to be when I said I was going to be there, and like honor those commitments. And so in terms of doing a workshop, like I love that idea. I would love to contribute. I'd love to pour in value, but being like active in the community and going to retreats and like doing all the different pieces, I don't know that, like, for where I am, if that fits into like my schedule right now with the level of clients that I have and commitments that are already on my plate, which is why I was kind of like, oh, if that's the core and like this is the baseline commitment, someone can quickly decide, okay, that's for me, I can do that, that's doable, versus like the auxiliary things feel like they're a little bit more optional. Then you feel a little bit, especially in the healing community, like I feel like most people are very high integrity in that community. And so thinking about like, we want to show up and honor those commitments and foster that community as much as possible. And when it feels like there's too much of a demand on our time and we're already part of so many things, at least I can speak for myself, I don't know that I'd be able to commit at a higher level than like I'll run a workshop and try to come to events when I can. And that's like sort of what I'm able to do.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that as well. So I think one of the things is like, um, if you already like have like an established thing and you already have a system, like in like I think there's different levels of like
Yeah.
coaches and facilitators. So I think somebody that is like already has all of their stuff, their whole pipeline, their whole sales and marketing funnel really sorted, and they have really great content, I think I'm like fine with that kind of person just leading a workshop, because there are some people that I have in mind and they're like, yeah, I can't like come to the mastermind, but I definitely want to like offer the community some, support. So I want to say that, but then I don't want like somebody that's, a newer coach, or, that maybe doesn't have their systems like sorted yet. Like then I want you to show up to like the mastermind and get familiar and like get some advice, because
Yeah.
you're gonna need, like, we can't put you up as a speaker yet.
I think though that's sort of like the buy-in, right? Is people are at different levels and you have someone coming in and you're like, hey, are you looking like what's your primary goal of being in this mastermind? Is it visibility and value add? Because if that's what you're looking for, you may be in the elite level of leadership versus like client getting and like business building or revenue generating and follower growth or something. Those people are going to be more in the camp of like, okay, you kind of have to invest to get back, like you're using this as a platform to build your business versus someone who's already had their business built when they come in. So like right now, I'm not even taking clients right now. Like my schedule is booking into November and like I don't, so as of right now, like I wouldn't join anything to try to gain more clients because then I'd have to deal with a wait list. And I don't want to do that yet.
But you have your course though, right?
So it's just a 20-minute mini course that's free. And then it goes into a passive program that's like heavily discounted. It's like 97% off right now. So it's really just kind of that's like my lead funnel. It's like an auto generated program. And then I have working with people one-on-one on a single call or a month-to-month contract. So that's pretty much like where I am.
Would you do something, because just to scale, so for my marketing plan course, where it breaks down like the whole marketing plan, I ran it as like just 8 modules. And then I like looked and nobody would finish the modules.
Yeah.
And so I then started incorporating 10 weeks of me,
A
like,
cohort. Yeah.
yeah, like in a group setting.
Yep.
And some people still didn't even watch the thing, but they would listen to me and do the assignment of what I said, like
Yeah.
on that call. But like it was just helpful to like be able to scale and like have and help more people. But like it was the people that couldn't afford the done for you stuff, or it wasn't
Yes.
ready for the done for you stuff.
Yeah, that's what I used to offer. So like a year, maybe 2 years ago, I did live launches of my course, 8 modules as well with a cohort, mastermind style facilitation. So one call a month. And we would get it. It was an 8-month course because they would do the videos and the homework. And then we get on a call and we talk about the progress and kind of lead it that way. And I've gotten away from that. Also because that course was about how to build your business from soup to nuts up to 6 figures or beyond. And I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to do sales, which is my zone of genius. So it's sort of, yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
less better.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely am taking that on as well. Like I started my company in 2011 doing
Yeah,
social media marketing.
right.
Then like as years evolved, I was like, I'm not taking you on as like, I can't do your social media. You have no funnel. You have no, your website's crap. Like people, doesn't matter like what song and dance I do on social media. Like you're not getting any sales because they go to your website and they have no idea like what the offer is. And so then it was like, okay, we need to create this marketing plan and all of the things, because you can't just do social media. Like you have
Right.
to like do other things. And it was like frustrating to, and I think for clients too, they're like, well, I'm not making any money on social media. I'm like, I know, because you need
Yeah.
to do all these other things that you're not doing. And so then I just started doing all of them. And so like that's really what I focus on, is like that whole marketing plan and the strategy and
Yeah.
customizing it. So I kind of don't want to do social media for people unless it's like very particular people.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of how, it evolved, right? It starts with, I want to teach sales. And then I would talk to someone and their offer wasn't good. And it was like, okay, your offer's not good. It's not clear. It's not easy to sell. So selling is going to be an uphill battle. So we got to figure out your offer. And then it's, well, now your messaging needs to change because your offer shifted. So we got to work on your messaging. And now your marketing needs to change because now your messaging has shifted and the audience that you serve is different and your offer is different. Now we have all new content pillars. And, it's like all these different components kind of bleed into each other. And what I've found is like you can sell with very little. So I just usually tell people, get rid of your website and all of the other social medias for now, right? Because I don't want to have to work on all that extra stuff. I just want to get them selling. So like I can get someone a sale in 5 hours. And I've done that many times. So like, I'll just say, take all of that away because none of it applies to your business now. Let's just change your link over to this one really simple page and let's just get you on a call and get you selling something. Like that's the simplest way. And then we'll build those things back in if you want to. And there's people like you who are better at helping them generate all of those things. But my goal primarily is just like, what's the simplest path to dollars? How do you get your impact and your income way up so you can afford to outsource all the things that you're clearly not great at, which is okay because that's not everybody's zone of genius.
Yeah, I'd love to do like an affiliate partnership with you where if people do need, when you go and redo their messaging, they're like, okay, now I need all of those graphics and all of that website stuff and all of the emails built back up. Like I'd love to do like an affiliate thing like that. And I definitely know that there's a lot of people that I want to like introduce you to for the whole sales part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a little spreadsheet that I just track all of the people that are in my sphere and I call it by vibe. So like I'll write down your vibe, like who do you serve? What's your energy level like? What's your typical budget for a project? And like I can grab those details from you and then I just put you into my spreadsheet. And if I meet somebody who is like, you know what, now I've got all this stuff sorted on the sales side, I really need help with the marketing, I'll send them to you if I feel like it's a fit budget wise and vibe wise. Like usually when I refer someone to you, it's going to be like a 90% match. It's like you have to take them that extra 10%, but I'm like giving you a really good lead because I want to match people with the right partners, right? So I'm not just like, oh yeah, Farhana knows marketing, just go to her. And their budget is like $12 and they're like, totally not in the healing space or like feminine or high vibe or any of these things. They're going to be like, why are you sending me to her? That's not a fit at all. So there's like 50 people who do marketing, but like each one has their own unique difference. And like, there's a fit for everyone there. So, I mean, I don't even need to be an affiliate. I'll just refer people to you and I'm happy to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Does anyone want to share anything before we close?
I just want, Justine, could you put your like email and website or whatever social links that you put in the chat so I can grab a screenshot of that and add you to my contacts? And
that's my website, just myname.com.
Okay.
And my email is myname@myname.com.
Mimi, all of her information is on the back end of the Divine Brand Collective too.
Okay, cool. And so Justine Beauregard, your family is French or what?
Well, that's my husband's family. They're French Canadian.
Oh, okay. Very good.
But yes, je parle français.
Très bien. Moi aussi. My mom is from Paris, so I grew up speaking French.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
It was nice.
Mais pas avec l'accent québécois.
Yeah, so we don't have, well, my husband doesn't speak French, so they don't have any sort of accent, not even from Quebec, because they're not.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't. So I went to school for international business in Rouen, and then I studied there for 8 months and I minored in French. So my French is conversant. It's not fluent, but yeah.
Awesome.
I love the language.
Very good. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful language.
It is a beautiful language. I love it there. I've been to Paris like 10 times. It's my favorite city.
Awesome. I love your clarity, Justine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice spending this time with you ladies, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Nice to meet you all.
I'm Justine.
Bye, Justine.
You want to send me questions and I'll email you those answers for the Excel sheet, or?
Yeah, or do you want to, well, I don't let you pick your vibe. I pick your vibe for you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important. But if you want to just tell me like what your packages start at pricing wise, that would be really helpful.
I can send you over like a brochure.
Okay. And does that have your best contact information and how you like to be introduced to people? I typically just do a warm email introduction so people can have each other's contact info and then you can take the conversation on your own. And I feel like it organizes things versus like a social media intro or these other things. So if that works for you, that's typically how I do it.
Yeah, I like email intros.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye,
sounds
guys.
good. Nice to
Bye.
see you all.
It's so
Have a
good
good
to see
day.
y'all. Have a good day.
Bye.